حي على الفلاح.
A country nestled between the Arab Maghreb to the north, the western sub-Saharan Africa to the south, and bordered by the Atlantic Ocean to the west. While the country is just over 90% desert, it's home to over 4 million people, and its people, culture, and Islamic tradition make up the rich mass of this country. Mauritania is known for its unique architectural style, which is heavily influenced by Islam. The traditional houses, known as qusur, are made of mud and are designed to protect inhabitants from the harsh desert environment. The city of Chinguetti is famous for its qusur, which have been declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The houses have flat roofs that can be used for prayer and social gatherings, and the streets are narrow to provide shade from the sun. In addition to the qusur, Mauritania is also known for its ornate mosques. The most famous is the Grand Mosque of Nouakchott, which was built in the 1960s and features a distinctive minaret that resembles a lighthouse. The mosque is the largest in the country and can accommodate up to 20,000 worshippers. The ancient tribes of Mauritania were Berber, Niger, Congo, and Darfur peoples. The Darfur were among the first Saharan peoples to abandon their previously nomadic lifestyle and adopt a primarily agricultural one. The Romans explored towards this area and probably reached with Suetonius Paullinus, the area of Adrar. There is evidence of Roman commerce in Akjut and Tamkarkart near Tichit. The country currently holds 4 national languages, which is a testament to its rich and complex history of ethnic diversity and long-time resistance to Arabization. There is Hassaniya, a mixture of Arabic and Berber spoken in the northern regions at its border with Morocco. Fular, Fulani, spoken more towards the west of the country. Soninke, spoken more towards its neighboring countries towards the south. And lastly, Wolof, the most widely spoken language of the country. Some of the first inhabitants of pre-colonial Mauritania were agricultural tribes of people with Maori or Berber, and sub-Saharan African ethnic heritage with Berbers in the seat of power by the 3rd century. The land was later conquered by Islamic kingdoms during 8th century like its northern neighbor, Morocco, and the gradual Islamization of the desert people of Mauritania would begin here, flourishing into a rich and wealthy tradition now known across the world. The Umayyads were the first Arab Muslims to enter Mauritania. During the Islamic conquests, they made incursions into Mauritania and were present in the region by the end of the 7th century. By the 11th century, Islamization had reached the region around the Senegal River. In the 11th century, several nomadic Berber confederations in the desert regions overlapping present-day Mauritania joined together to form the Almoravid movement. The story of Islam in Mauritania starts with the ancient city of Chinguetti. For more than 1200 years, Chinguetti has welcomed travelers seeking shelter from the harsh Saharan heat. Founded in the 8th century, it was originally a caravan stop for Hajj pilgrims that blossomed into one of the biggest centers of science, religion, and mathematics in West Africa. It is because of this city and its reputation that gave the northwestern African region its name, Bilad Al-Shinqit, which is why any scholar bearing the title al-Shinqiti suggests strong scholarly expertise. As pilgrims and scholars came and went, many left religious texts, scientific studies, and historical manuscripts. In fact, so many of these historical documents accumulated over the years that during Chinguetti's peak between the 13th and 17th centuries, this thriving city boasted 30 libraries. Saharan families from across generations preserved book manuscripts in Saharan libraries. This reflected the immense sources of knowledge and, by extension, power and prestige to the families who owned these libraries. Saharan traditions of Islamic knowledge in and around Saharan oasis thrived thanks to enterprising activities of Saharan scholars and their families. Scholars were often traders, which means they were also really successful in acquiring and producing literature. It's fair to say that a culture of Quran memorization, mastery of Arabic language, and the practice of Islamic jurisprudence was fostered across Bilad Al-Shinqit. The Mauritanians understood that when the Prophet ﷺ commanded all Muslims to seek knowledge, it meant that they couldn't just plant their feet in the ground and wait for the knowledge to come to them. They had to interact with the wider Islamic world, and wherever they went, they would put their legendary scholarly identities to good use. Wherever they went, they would lead the world in Islamic sciences and become the leading scholar on the Arabic language, like Sheikh Muhammad Mahmoud al-Turkuzi al-Shinqiti, who held the position of Chair of Arabic at Al-Azhar University. As a matter of fact, the political scientists Alex Thurston and Michael Farquhar have suggested that there are more professors from Mauritania and Saudi Islamic universities than from any other country. Even female Mauritanians contributed greatly to all areas of classical Islamic scholarship, like Khadija bint Muhammad Val al-Samsadi al-Shinqiti, who was nicknamed al-Qari'a al-Shinqitiyya, meaning the highly persuasive woman from Shinqit, because of her active ability to engage and win scholarly arguments against male scholars. She would often use the Quran and Hadith to help promote women's role in Islamic scholarship and learning. Mauritanians and other northwestern Saharan Islamic scholars have had a profound impact on Islamic culture. They built robust Islamic networks that were and still are central to Islamic trends and ideas that go beyond borders. Their mastery of classical Islamic knowledge, the Arabic language, and poetry, and memorization of the Quran cemented their authority on transitional religious authority. Till now, Mauritanian Islamic culture continues to exhibit rich intellectual tradition and global relevance. May Allah bless the scholars of Mauritania who have carried the knowledge of this beautiful religion. Islam has played a significant role in shaping the culture of Mauritania. The country has a rich tradition of oral storytelling, which often centers on Islamic themes and teachings. Music is also an important aspect of Mauritanian culture, with many songs and melodies based on Islamic poetry and stories. The ardeen, a type of lute, is a popular instrument used in Mauritanian music. In addition to storytelling and music, Mauritania is also known for its cuisine. The national dish is thiboudien, which is a spicy fish and rice dish. Other popular dishes include akoho sivoanio, which is a chicken and coconut curry, and couscous, which is a staple dish in many North African countries. Mauritania is a country with a rich Islamic history, unique architectural style, and vibrant culture. The country's traditional houses and mosques reflect its Islamic heritage, while its music, storytelling, and cuisine showcase the diversity of richness of its culture. In the 19th century, the French came to occupy and take root in Mauritania, with little interest in the land other than as a strategic stronghold for further European colonial ventures. While much of the population remained nomadic within the region, the French supposedly concentrated their efforts on ushering power exclusively into the hands of the Arab Berber aristocracy, which as a result has caused ethnic conflict across the country ever since, creating a difficulty in cultivating a sense of any national identity. In 1960, the country finally achieved its independence from France and became the Islamic Republic of Mauritania. However, in 1978, their founding president, Mukhtar Oudadda, was overthrown in an organized coup following his authoritarian regime. Despite its tumultuous political history, Mauritania has remained a beating heart of the Islamic world and firm on the map of scholars on their travel route seeking knowledge and understanding of the religion of Islam. The country is not wealthy, but is said to be rich in its knowledge and teaching of the Islamic tradition. Since travel has become a more and more accessible means for modern-day people, the country has been a hotspot and rite of passage for contemporary scholars.